Hello everyone. First, I would like to thank the organizers of the conference, Media in America, America in Media, for giving me this opportunity to participate in this distinguished conference, and thank you for your great work in organizing the conference. My paper is about the impact of Hollywood movies on tourism in America among Egyptian youth, by Dina Farouk Abou Zeid, Dean of Mass Communication Faculty at International Academy for Engineering and Media Sciences, and Professor in Mass Communication Department, Faculty of Arts at Ain Shams University. Cinema is very popular among Egyptians. Egyptian cinema is called Arab Hollywood due to its popularity and success in the Arab world. So Egyptians have been used to appreciate cinema and are attracted to movies from different countries, especially American movies, which are considered their most favorite ones. Also, they are used to watch American movies with Arabic subtitles. American movies are available to Egyptian audiences, especially youth, through number 1, terrestrial television channels, mainly Channel 1 and Channel 2. Number 2, satellite television channels, for example, NBC2 and Dubai 1. Number 3, Internet, such as movies, websites, and platforms, for instance, Netflix or Egyptian and Arab movies websites, which illegally show movies, including Netflix movies. Number 4, movie theaters, which are considered the most entertaining activity among Egyptians, especially the youth. Hollywood movies have different influences on Egyptians, particularly Egyptian youth. One of these influences is movie-induced tourism. Movie-induced tourism refers to the role of cinema in motivating people to travel to destinations portrayed in movies. Movie-induced tourism is one of the terms used to refer to the increase of tourism in countries and locations which are portrayed in movies. There are two main categories of movie-induced tourism, which are on-location and off-location. On-location includes tourism in the actual and natural destinations of movies, such as landscapes, streets, buildings, historical sites, sets left by producers, and tours of movies locations. However, off-location refers to built and artificial places, such as movie studios tours and theme parks. Also, film festivals and movies premieres encourage tourism and are considered examples of movie-induced tourism. Movies provide information about destinations. This information can create a first image about a place or can change its initial image to form a new one. The positive image leads to a desire to travel. Then the person takes a decision to visit the movie's destinations. Movies productions lead and follow different phases, which include introduction of the destinations, increase of tourist number, stagnation and decline of tourism, but the challenges of the decrease of number of tourism could be solved by releasing the movies on television, DVD, and different platforms which can attract new generations who didn't witness the first release of the movies in movie theaters. Cinema can have a negative impact on tourism. For example, if movies negatively portray a destination, they will discourage tourists to visit. Moreover, movies can manipulate the culture, authenticity, and identity of a country when locations are presented through unreal, fantasy, and invented stories beside virtual and digitized images. Therefore, tourists can be attracted to the locations that are staged in movies more than real and natural sites. The impact of Hollywood movies lacks research studies in Egypt and the Arab world. Also, applying infotainment on movie-induced tourism lacks research studies in Egypt and world. Infotainment. Infotainment, as a term, has emerged in the 80s to refer to a new genre of media content which combines information and entertainment elements. Although this global phenomenon is usually used to refer to television, it can be found in other types and kinds of media, such as print, radio, and internet. Also, infotainment is usually applied on political communication and news. However, it can be found in different content such as docudramas, talk shows, and reality television. Infotainment is characterized by presenting informative content through entertainment elements, including sensational stories, emotional events, lots of music and graphics, and pretty anchors. Also, the audience's responses are emotional rather than rational. Infotainment makes the differences between news and entertainment disappear, and soft news is considered an example of infotainment. Furthermore, information technology, multimedia, and new media create an infotainment society. Rich media enhance infotainment through live streaming, interactivity, and online video. Infotainment can narrow knowledge gap by attracting audiences who are interested in information. For example, it attracts young viewers to news and public affairs shows, and late-night comedy and daytime talk shows, which are considered examples of infotainment, increase political engagement and participation during the presidential elections. On the other hand, infotainment is characterized because it focuses on scandals and politicians' private lives, besides providing less information and more entertainment. It's influenced by media commercialization, privatization, competition, and marketing, which make media seek audiences and advertising by adopting entertainment formats. Research studies have been conducted about infotainment since 1980, but the term still needs a clear definition and more studies to determine its common properties and to be applied on different kinds of media. So, this research study examines the impact of Hollywood movies on tourism in America among Egyptian youth by applying infotainment to discover the elements of information and entertainment in Hollywood movies which encourage the youth to travel to the U.S. I conducted a survey of 500 Egyptian university students. The sample belongs to disproportionate stratified samples. The students in the sample are divided equally between males and females who have passion for traveling. The findings show that Hollywood movies encourage Egyptian university students to travel abroad. The movies not only encourage them to travel to the US, but also to Europe, Asia, and different continents, such as the movie Eat, Pray, Love, a 2010 movie starring Julia Roberts. The movie has been encouraging and motivating the youth to travel to Italy, India, and Indonesia. The findings indicate that the genres of Hollywood movies that encourage Egyptian youth to travel to the US are the following: romance movies such as The Notebook, comedy movies, for example, The Mask, road movies, for instance, Easy Rider, action movies such as Mission Impossible Fallout, musical movies such as A Star is Born, animation movies, for example, American Dad. It's found that the types of movie-induced tourism among Egyptian university students are the following. First, traveling to destinations portrayed in movies. For example, the movie Sleepless in Seattle, which motivated the youth to visit the Empire State Building in New York City, where Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan met at the end of the movie. Second, organized tour of portrayed locations, such as New York movie tours, which include locations from When Harry Met Sally, Home Alone 2, Ghostbusters, Spider-Man, You've Got Mail, and Superman. Third, tour of studio sets such as Universal Studios. Fourth, tour of movie theme park, for example, Jurassic Park in Universal Studios themed parks. Most of the youth in the sample are being motivated to travel to the U.S., even if the movies are not about travel, but portray American atmosphere and lifestyles, such as the movie You've Got Mail, the 1998 movie starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Hollywood movies influence different forms of tourism among Egyptian youth, such as cultural tourism, for example, the movie Night at the Museum; beach tourism, such as the movie Baywatch; leisure tourism, for instance, the movie Casino; wildlife tourism, such as the movie Wild America; adventure tourism, for example, Indiana Jones. Infotainment refers to the type of media which combines information and entertainment, and it's applied on the impact of Hollywood movies on tourism in America among Egyptian youth. The findings show that infotainment is applied and found in Hollywood movies and tourism. Information elements are found in movies through information about touristic sites, culture and traditions, safety and weather. They are found in scenes, shots, events, and dialogue in movies. The information is presented through entertainment elements which are found in shooting locations, plot, and famous stars that the audiences like. So it can be concluded that infotainment can be applied in movies and tourism because cinema can inform the audiences about tourism while entertaining them. The research study concludes that movies play an important role in encouraging tourism among Egyptian youth, but international tourism is being influenced more than domestic tourism. As an Egyptian, I recommend that Egypt should be more portrayed in Egyptian and non-Egyptian movies. Egyptian producers should promote for tourism in their movies. Ministry of Tourism should implement movie-induced tourism. Also, Ministry of Culture should offer more facilities to Egyptian and non-Egyptian movies to film in touristic sites. Moreover, movie-induced tourism needs to be more studied by media researchers and by applying different media theories. Thank you so much.